I'm Anil Kumar. Welcome to my YouTube channel and the website Global Math Institute. In this video, we'll explore polynomial division. We will see how do we divide a polynomial by a monomial. We'll see how factoring skills help us to divide polynomials. It is like simplifying rational expressions. We'll also learn the steps involved for long divisions in dividing polynomials. We'll take up examples by dividing polynomials with binomial divisors also. Writing restrictions and division statement will be a common part in all the questions. Let us enjoy this process with our golden girl, Naisha.
Naisha, she is first in crunches, first in push-up, first in sitting wall throw, first in skipping, second in standing broad jump, first in 30-meter dash, first in shuttle run, and second in long distance.
Hi Naisha, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good. So today, what do you want to do?
Since we have completed the portion, can we start with the revision?
Yes, sure. Which topic you want to revise today?
Division of polynomials, because I'm having problems in solving.
Okay,
this
so
one.
division of polynomials we'll take. Can you introduce yourself first?
Yes, I'm Naisha from India. I study in grade 8. I love sports. I have gold in archery, and that's all here. I take gold in maths.
So the gold in archery now. The golden girl wants gold in maths. That's great. So Naisha, why don't you share what you have? Then we'll see how to solve those kinds of questions. Okay?
Yes.
You can share the screen.
Yes.
Good. So let's begin with the very first question and try to understand how do we solve such questions. Question number 1 is, we are given 21m square and we have to divide by 7m. So we have to divide by 7m. So you can write it like a quotient, right? As we have shown here. Correct?
Yes.
Now we can simplify this rational expression. This is called rational expression. Is it okay? So rational expressions have a polynomial in numerator and a polynomial in denominator. So when you simplify, you see 21m square and 7m, 1m can cancel, and 7 is 3 times 21, right? So actually, I can also write it in the factored form that 21 can be written as 7 times 3 and m square can be written as m times m. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I have 7m in the denominator. Clearly, from here, we can cancel 1 7 and we can cancel 1 m. And what do we get is 3m, and that is the reduced form. Is it okay?
Yes.
So in this division, we see that 7m is a factor of 21, right? So there is no remainder here, right?
No. Yes.
Or you can say remainder is 0, right? Or you can say remainder r equals to 0. You can say that, right? What you
Yes.
really get is the quotient. What you get is the quotient. This is the quotient. And if the remainder is 0, that means what? That means that 7m is factor of 21m square, right?
Right.
So in all these ways, we can relate this particular question. So the question was, write the quotient and the remainder. So clearly, we can now write down our answer. We'll say our answer here is quotient Q is 3m and remainder R is 0. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
Now, this method which I have taught you and which is also there in your book, this is your book method, right? Let me call it book method. Now, I can provide you with an alternate method which is very effective and easy to use. So I'm showing you what is alternate method to find quotient and the remainder. Is it okay?
Yes.
Now, this alternate method involves long division process. So let me show you how. So we have to now divide 21. We are doing this question, dividing 21 m square by 7m, right?
Right.
How many times will 7 go in 21?
3 times.
3 times. So write 3. How many times m goes in m square?
M times.
M times. So straight away you get 21 m square, and when you take away, you get 0 as your remainder. Do you see that? So
Yes.
it is a very simple step. This is equal to the quotient q, and this is equal to the remainder r. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
Correct. Remember one more thing. When you divide by 7m, there is a restriction, right? So we also talk about restriction. Restriction is that m is not equal to 0 because you cannot divide by 0. You understand?
Yes.
Now we can see how to solve a polynomial division question. Maybe simple. We are dividing a monomial by a monomial. But important thing is understanding all the steps. You get me? If we
Yes.
understand steps, we can actually solve very complicated and difficult questions. So what we have seen here is how do we divide a polynomial in two different ways. One, like simplifying a rational expression. The other one, using long division. In long division, you get the quotient and the remainder. You can see as it is on the left hand side. And remember one thing, if the remainder is 0, it means that the denominator is a factor of numerator. Is that okay?
Mm. Yes.
Is that clear? Can I clear the screen and move on to the next question?
Yes.
Great. So you can now share the next question, please. Now let's do this question, right? So we'll do it in both the ways. One, as per your book, we have 40 a cube and we are dividing by negative 10a, right? You can write 40 as 4 times 10, correct? A cube as a times a square. Denominator is minus 10 times a. Now you can cancel the common factors, and clearly the common factors which we have are 10 and a, right?
A.
So what you're
Right.
left with is negative, because when
4A
you
square.
divide positive with negative, you get negative and 4a square, correct? Again,
Right.
we see that remainder is 0, right? Because it is a factor. So in this case, we can say quotient q is minus 4a square and remainder r is 0. Is that okay?
Yes.
Now let's look into the statement which is given in the book. Now as they are giving here, they have also shown that the remainder is 0 and that remains to be divided by minus 10 over a, right? So this is called division statement. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
So this is the division statement which you can write and then clearly write down quotient and the remainder. Is it okay?
Okay.
Let me show you how easy it is to do with long division. So in long division, exactly as you do with numbers, we'll do very similarly. For 40a cube, we are going to divide by minus 10a. So it goes with minus because we want a positive number. 4 times 10 is 40 and a square. That goes in the quotient, and what we get is 40 a cube, and when you take away, you get 0 remainder. So clearly, from here, you can now write down the result in a similar fashion. Quotient being minus 4a square and remainder being 0. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
Once again, in this case, we do have a restriction. Can you tell me what is the restriction?
A square. Yeah.
Not equal to 0.
Yes.
A is not equal to 0. Add that to your equation. It is a good idea. Okay, you will learn it soon.
We will write a cube, a square, or just a.
A, only A. Because the variable is A, right? A cannot be 0. If A is not 0, A square will not be 0, A cube will not be 0. So it is sufficient to write A not equal to 0. We are always writing in terms of the independent variable, which is A in this case. Okay. So let's clear the screen. Move on to the next question, please. So this is very similar, right? So we have minus 48 p to the power of 4 divided by minus 9 p square. Can you tell me the answer, please? Let me rewrite. Minus 48 p to the power of 4 divided by minus 9 p square. So if you want to cancel numerator and denominator, you see 48 is not a multiple of 9, right? But it can be divided by 3, correct? So
Yes.
I could write this as 3 times 16 is 48, right? And p to the power of 4 can be written as p square times p square, correct?
Yes.
And we have minus 9 p square. 9 could be written as 3 times 3, right?
3 times 3. Yes.
So we have p square times p square, and 9 can be written as 3 times 3 p square, right? So now when you factor, you can cancel p square with p square, minus 3 with minus 3, and you get your answer, which is 16 over 3 p square. Is that okay?
Yes.
So you have divided. There is no more denominator unknown. We have a constant 16 by 3, which is a number, right? So that becomes quotient. So we can write this as equal to 16 over 3p square plus 0 remainder divided by, you could write minus 9p square. Is that okay?
Okay.
So that becomes, so in this case, the quotient is 16 by 3p square and the remainder is equal to 0, correct? Now let us do it long division wise. So we have to now divide minus 48 p to the power of 4 by minus 9 p square. Now, how can you divide 48 by 9? So do it separately. See, 48 divided by 9 is what? You can reduce it as you did earlier, dividing by 3. You get 3 and 3 times 16, correct?
Yes.
So in number, we'll get 16 over 3. And as far as this variable is concerned, p to the power of 4 divided by p square is what? Is p square, right?
Square.
So when you multiply by that factor, you get exactly minus 48 p to the power of 4 and the remainder is 0. Do you see this?
Yes.
So that is your equivalent long division part. So we have shown this with both. And of course, we know that p is not equal to 0. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
So that is how you are doing this question. Let's move on and take the next question. Correct. So this is similar to the previous question, correct? You can do it yourself. You can divide 40 by 30 in numbers and you'll get a number which is 4 over 3 in this case. M to the power of 5 divided by m cube 3 will give you m square, right? And so you get this answer. Is this clear to you?
Yes.
Clear. Okay. Let's go to the next question. Now we have binomial. Correct? So let us see how do we divide this binomial. So as far as your book method is concerned, we have 5x cubed minus 3x squared, and we have to divide both by x squared, correct?
Yes.
So from the numerator, you could factor out x squared. So you get 5x minus 3 divided by x squared. And now you can cancel x squared and x squared to get the result, which is 5x minus 3, correct? And therefore, you know that the quotient is 5x minus 3 and the remainder is 0. Is it clear to you?
Yes.
Now, if you want to do long division, you could do it. Let's do it on the side. So we have 5x cubed minus 3x square, we want to divide by x square. So the first term will go by what? 5 times x, right?
Right.
You get 5x cube. When you take the difference, this is 0 minus, bring down the next term, which is 3x squared. Now that can go by minus 3, right?
Right.
So you get, when you do minus 3, you get minus 3x squared, and now the remainder is 0. So you get exactly the same result. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
So this is equivalent long division. Let's clear and move on to the next question. So once again, this question is very similar. So we'll skip this, right? Next question, please. Even if you have 3 terms, you can do the same type of division, right? But let's do this example, which has a remainder this time. Is that okay? So let me show you how easy it is to do with long division first. So we have the term 2y cubed plus 4y squared plus 3. We are dividing by 2y squared, right? So how many times will the first term go? It is 2. So 2 and 2 is 1. And y square will go y times, correct? So we can write this as 2y squared cube, right? Y times y square is y cube. When you take the difference, you get 0 here, right? Bring down the next term, which is plus 4y squared. So
Yes.
2 goes 2 times, so plus 2, and y square 1 time. So only 2.
One.
So when you do 2, you get 4y squared. And here we get 0. And bring down 3, so we get plus 3. Now you cannot divide 3 by 2y squared, right? So
Right.
that becomes a remainder. So clearly, we see that the quotient here is y plus 2. And the remainder is plus 3, which we still need to divide by 2y squared. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
That is very simple, straightforward method, long division. And this is the place where we have an advantage. You see, this is very simple and good method.
Yes.
Now let us also look into the book method. Now what we have done here is we have used factoring skills. So at this stage, in this method, in book method, you have to always use factoring skills. At your stage in grade 8, factoring skills itself is a bigger problem than division. You understand?
Yes.
It is not that we are trying to solve a question using something which is more difficult than straightforward. You get the idea. So now here,
Yes.
the book has very easily factored the portion right there to get 2y square. You see that? Do you visualize?
Yes.
So you have to visualize and then think and then factor as the book has done. You get the idea? So 2y cube plus 4y square has 2y square common. And therefore, they could take it common and they left the plus 3 term which came in the remainder. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
So that was the book's approach, which is going to be more and more difficult as we are going to look into more problems. But my long division approach will be very straightforward and simple to you. So I would like you to understand both. So as the situation may be, you may apply the method which works best for you. Is that okay?
Yes.
Now let's look into the next question. So Naisha, let us now look in question 1H, which is 21x to the power of 4 minus 14x squared plus 7x divided by 7x cubed, right?
Right.
Now remember one thing, you are dividing by x cubed. So if the powers are less than x cube, you cannot divide, right? You can only divide the term which have higher power. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
So from here, very clearly, it is seen that this portion cannot be divided, but only first portion can be divided. So we could actually think about writing this as 21x to the power of 4 divided by 7x cube minus, you could write minus or you can write plus here, and then write 14x square plus 7x divided by 7x cube. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
Now, in the first part, 21 divided by 7 is 3, right? So you get 3x here plus, this is minus 14x square plus 7x divided by 7x cube. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
So, in this particular case, we get a quotient which is equal to 3x, and we have a remainder which is equal to minus 14x square plus 7x divided by 7x cube. Clear?
Clear.
Okay. Now, this is one way of doing it. Let me show you how do you do with long division. Let me clear this. So we have this question which is 21 x to the power of 4 minus 14x square plus 7x, and we are dividing this by 7x cube. So the first term can be easily divided by 3x, right?
Right.
So you get 21x to the power of 4. This remainder being 0, you can bring down the next term, which is minus 14x square. Can you divide this by 7x cube? You cannot, because the power is square, right?
Right.
Divide by x cube. Do you see that? So we bring the other term also.
Understand.
Yeah. See, the thing is, if you have, let us say, a number which is like 5 over x, can you divide 5 by x?
No.
You cannot divide, right? So that is the whole thing. If I have 5x square plus 1 divided by x cube, can you divide this by x cube? Because the denominator power is higher. You remember fractions? What is a proper fraction? Where denominator number, right, is greater than numerator, correct?
Yes.
So in that case, here you see the degree of denominator is higher.
Yes.
So remember, so note one thing. If degree of denominator is higher than degree of numerator, then we cannot divide further. Correct? So you have to stop the division process. Division process always stops when the degree of numerator becomes smaller than the degree of denominator. Is it okay?
Yes.
That is where you get remainder. So if you are dividing by x cube, what kind of remainder you can get? Quadratic, x square, or linear, or a constant. You get the idea.
Yes.
In this case, we get a remainder which is minus 14x square plus 7x. Okay. So we'll write down our answer and we say, well, the quotient here is equal to 3x and the remainder here is minus 14x square plus 7x. Is that clear?
Yes.
So let me clear this and we can go through the solution of the book also and then next question. Correct. So here what they have done is they have taken all the three terms and split them into two because these two terms cannot be divided, right? You can see that. And as we did, they divided that first term by 7x cube, getting 3x as your quotient, and that becomes a remainder. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
Next question, please. Now, in the next question, you are dividing by 2x squared. So you can divide all the terms. You see that? Because all the powers are either greater than or equal to. So you can divide all the terms, correct?
Yes.
As you have seen here, you divided all the terms and the remainder was 0. And that is how you will do. Is it okay? Let's move on to the next question. Wait. Now when you have 5m cube as a divisor, where will you start dividing? At this stage, correct?
Yes.
Other numbers you can divide, correct? So straight away, how you should write this? You will write this question as equal to, we can write this as 25 m to the power of 4 minus 15 m cube divided by 5 m cube, right?
Yes.
And then we have plus 10 m plus 8 divided by 5 m cube. Is that okay?
Yes.
Now, you can simplify these two terms, correct? 5m cube is common in the numerator. So you can take 5m cube and 25 divided by 5 is 5m.
5.
And here 3, right? Over 5m
Yes.
cube plus 10m plus 8 divided by 5m cube.
5 and cube.
Now 5m
Yes.
cube and 5m cube cancel. You get the quotient 5m minus 3 plus the remainder 10m plus 8
Plus
divided
8.
by 5m cube. Is that okay?
Yes.
As shown here. So that is how you are going to do it. Is that clear?
Yes.
Let me show you long division also. So we have 25 m to the power of 4 minus 15 m cube plus 10m plus 8, and we are going to divide this by 5m cube, correct?
Yes.
First term. How many times can it go? Number 25 by 5 is 5.
5.
M to the power of 4 and 3 means 1m, right? 4 minus. So we get 25 m to the power of 4, 0 remainder, minus 15 m cube we bring down. Is it okay?
Yes.
Now that goes by minus 3 times. So multiply minus 15 m cube, remainder 0, bring down both of the terms, correct? You cannot divide them further, right?
Right.
So that becomes your remainder. So we can now write this is your quotient and this is your remainder. Is that clear to you? See, there's a
Yes.
simple and straightforward method which helps, especially when you have complicated cases. Is that clear?
Yes.
So let's clear this and move on to the next question. See, now we are dividing by a binomial. So this is kind of important. We are dividing by binomial. So you need clearly factoring skills to divide. So what the book has done, we have y square plus 10y plus 24. How will you factor? Do you remember how to factor? So let's understand factoring skills also now. Factor y square plus 10y plus 24. This is in addition to division. You understand? New problem. You understand? To factor, you need product and sum, right?
Yes.
We are looking for two numbers whose product should be 24 and whose sum should be 10. So what are the two numbers? 6 and 4, right?
Yes.
And therefore, you can now write this statement as what? We can write this as y square plus 6 and 4. So we could straight away go, or we'll do like the book way. We'll split 10y as 6y plus 4y plus 24. And the first term y is common, so y plus 6. In the second term 4 is common, y plus 6, correct?
6.
Now y plus 6 is common and we get y plus 4 as the factored form. So that is what has been shown here in each step for the numerator. Do you see that?
Yes.
Once you have done that, then you can factor. Common factors can be cancelled and you get the quotient and the remainder. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
Not an easy process because factoring itself is difficult for some students, right? Let me show
Yes.
you long division. So we have y square plus 10y plus 24 and we are now dividing by y plus 4. Is it okay? So since
Yes.
there are two terms, you have to engage now two terms, right? So you consider two terms. Here, y will go with what? Y, right?
Y.
Y with,
Yes.
right? So you can write this as y here. So when you multiply y with y square and 4y, and when you subtract, what do you get? 10 minus 4, 6y, right?
6y.
Bring down the next term, which is 24. And now y will go 6 times in 6y, correct? So we get
Yes.
6y plus 24, and we have remainder 0. Do you see that?
Yes.
So clearly, we got an easy quotient of y plus 6 and a remainder which is 0. You can always write this division statement from here. Is that clear? But it is much,
Yes.
much easier than the method shown. Correct? So if you have
Yes.
a choice, avoid the factoring method, you can do the long division. So long division is better method, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's move on. Take the next example. Okay, more binomials. So again, you could factor as has been shown in the book, which you can see. But now I will show you how do we do without factoring, but using long division. So we have p square plus 7p minus 5, and we are going to divide this by p plus 3. So how many times will we have to engage two terms, right? Because
Yes.
binomial division. So it will go by p. So write p here. So p square plus 3p, right? And when you take the difference, we get 4p minus 5. And now what should go in quotient? 4p, right? 4. So we'll do plus 4 here. So we have 4p plus 12. And then when you take away, you get what? Minus 17, right? Is that clear?
No.
Let's go
I
through this
didn't
process
understand.
again. Let's go through this process again. First step, we are dividing by p plus 3. P square plus 7p minus 5. So we are engaging two terms. What should go in quotient? How many times will p go in p square? This is what you have to figure out, right? So we have to divide p square by p. What do you get? You get p, right?
P.
So that is what I have written here. Now multiply p with both the terms. Once you do that, you write here p square plus 3p. Is that clear to you?
Okay.
Now you take away. So when you take away, p square minus p square is 0, right? And then 7 minus 3 is 4p.
4.
Now you have to divide 4p minus 5. Think about 4p dividing by p. What you get? You get the number 4, correct?
4.
So that
Yes.
4 comes here.
How did we get the 12?
Now multiply this 4 with 3 and with p, correct? So you get 4p plus 12.
Okay.
Is that clear to you now?
Yes.
And then you take away, you get a remainder. So in this particular case, I can straight away write my quotient as p plus 4 and the remainder as minus 17. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
This is a good method. So try to practice more questions using this method. So let me clear the screen. Let us see the school answer also. Just compare. Yeah. 17 they got, right? So see 17. Same thing, right? Minus
Yes.
17. Let's do the next question. Let me clear this. Next question, please. Correct. Now, next question is 3x plus 2x square plus 4x cube divided by x minus 4. Correct? The method in
Yes.
the book involves factoring, not an easy method, right? At this stage, I will tell you, do long division. Now, let us try to understand how do we do long division. So, first step is, do you see the powers are written in the reverse order?
Yes.
So write in normal way, right? So normal way is 4x cube plus 2x square
Yes.
plus
Plus.
3x. Is that okay? And you're going to
Yes.
divide by x minus 4. You also notice one thing here that in between, yeah. So first step you understand? Write in normal order.
Yes.
Right? That is a standard equation. Right? Then divide.
Yes.
So we have written. Now let us divide. Okay, so I'm rewriting this. We have 4x cubed plus 2x squared plus 3x, and we want to divide this by x minus 4. So 4x cubed over x, what do you get? 4x square, right?
X
So in the
square.
numerator, when we change the ink, we'll get 4x square. When you multiply with both the terms, you get 4x cube minus 4 times 4 is 16 x
16.
square. Now you take away. When you take away, minus 16 becomes plus 16. And so you get 18x square, correct?
8x square.
Bring down 3x, so you get plus 3x. Now when you divide 18x square by 18x square by x, what do you get? They cancel 18x.
18x.
So let me write down plus 18x here. And therefore, I get 18x square minus 18 times 4. So 36 times 2, 72, right? 70x.
Yes.
Now take away. You get 75x. Now you can still divide, correct? So because it is x, let's add 0 here, right? So which is called a placeholder. So this is a placeholder.
Yes. We are going to start earlier.
Correct. And now we will end this by multiplying by 75, right? So when you multiply by 75, you get 75x minus 75 times minus 4, right? So which is twice is 150, 300, right? So when you take away, you get remainder of 300. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
So we get a quotient here. Let me write down the answer. Let this be our last question. The quotient is what we get here in the, which is 4x. Let me write. Okay, you can move ahead. Check the book answer also, and we have the same thing? Yeah, next page. But anyway, the book answer is very complicated. Wait. So do you see the quotient, which is 4x square plus 18x plus 17, and the remainder is 300, just as we have. Do you see that part?
Yes.
So now, do you understand how simple this long division becomes when we are talking about polynomials, especially dividing by binomials or even trinomials? You get the idea? So at this stage, I will, because I know that your factoring skills are not all that good, which to do these types of questions, especially. So I would like you to do these difficult questions using long division only. Is that okay? Because with factoring skills, you will go nowhere. You will not get any answer, right?
Yes.
So practice, you know the book's answer. So that is a good thing. Divide this polynomial like I did using long division. And if you have any difficulty, you should actually write me and then I'll provide you with more guidelines. Is that okay?
Yes.
So let me end the class here. We'll clear the screen. You can stop sharing now. Can you summarize what have you learned today?
Yes. We revised placeholders, then how to divide the polynomials, and the long division method, and we did it in the easy ways, the question answers in the easy ways.
Correct. So I'd like you to practice some more using both school method and my long division method, which is a standard method. Long division method, even grade 11 and 12 students are also doing long division. They do not do by factoring. Is it okay? So because factoring itself is very difficult, it is not easy. Okay. So avoid if you can. And if you have any difficulty, please contact me. Is that okay?
Yes.
Fine then. All the best.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Welcome.